All right, today I'm going to be talking about how to strengthen your blog by going back and looking at older articles and making sure that they reflect the quality and the consistency and really what you've got the blog out now. So Real Men Real Style, I founded it over a year ago, and the early articles were really transfers over from my Google Knoll writing. And a lot of that Google Knoll writing at the time, that was interns working for me and writing content, which wasn't particularly sophisticated. Nothing against the guys that were doing it, but it was something which they weren't at a level where they had a deep understanding of the content material. And it was something that we just practiced. Now, those articles are still on Real Men Real Style. And in fact, they're way back in the history of, well, not way back, not even a year actually. But if you go back 10 months, you're going to see articles on Real Men Real Style, which are not that great. So how can you go back and kind of judge these early articles? Well, there's this FB Social Stats right up here that we've got. It's a plugin. When you click on that FB Social Stats, it will reveal to you this big long list, and it goes back, and you can see that we've been publishing, consistently anywhere from, it looks like 5 to 10 articles a month over the last 7 months, probably a little bit more. Now, January, this is inflated quite a bit because we went through and we've inserted a lot of keyword articles. So these are small ones that we're going to be, and this is to promote interlinking within the website. But we'll talk about this at a later point. So as you go down and you start entering to December of last year, then November, October, September, and even January of last year, we've got a number of older articles. And what we're going to be doing is revisiting these articles and saying, okay, how can we rewrite this to make it better? So when I click on what's in a men's jacket, it takes me to here, and I can see that what's in a men's jacket, drawing the line between a suit and sports jacket. Okay, one thing I did is I've actually changed the name of this article, so it is changed here. Another thing is when I look at this article, really look, we've got 5 paragraphs, which it isn't too bad, but it looks really short because we've got this tiny image here. And this image is over from a tailored suit. So what we want to look to do is to make this article expand it out, possibly come back here and rewrite parts of it. Feel free to break these up. I mean, we're writing for the web. So when you write for the web, you don't have to have these big long paragraphs. This is more for traditional writing. We could easily break some of this up, have one sentence breakups, or if I wanted to, well, I'm not going to get into this here because I talk about editing at a later point, but we definitely see, the big thing I see here is that we could add at least 3 quality images. This one is maybe 200 pixels across, maybe 180 pixels. We want to have images that are at least 400 to 500 pixels wide and much bigger. People really like images. So we'll want to go through and clean this up, possibly reword and to improve this so that we can then submit this to a Stumble Upon or Plus One, these other websites, and get people to talk about this, because right now this is easily one of the weakest articles. So if I went back to the Facebook stats, let's look at 5 steps to determining a man's wedding attire. Again, we've got the same thing. Actually, the formatting is, if I look at this, the formatting is inconsistent. So here we've got, it looks like one type of lettering, and then we've got a lighter gray, a different type of lettering. And we've got some keyword inserts, that's great, that are linking. But overall, it needs pictures. So, and we do have wedding pictures that we can pull from. Yeah, so this one, again, probably needs at least 3, possibly 4 quality images, and it needs to be consistent in its formatting. So look at the way we're currently formatting, and then come in here and make that adjustment. One thing you don't want to do when you update these articles is you don't want to change the name of the URL. So this all leave the same, because these articles have been up here for well, this one's been over for a year and a half. And so there there are a number of incoming links to this article already. What we want to do is improve the quality of this and take it up a notch so that it becomes a great article about determining a man's wedding attire. Now, that's just January. There's 2 of them. Most of these ones in September, some of them are really good. Like the Mad Men articles, those are pretty solid. But there's a number of them, such as the bodybuilders and men's suits in extreme athletic fit. No images at all. We need to find images and bring them here. This article really, and this article can probably be broken into more parts. I've got 1, 2, 3 sections. It just reads too long. So we need to come in here and adjust the formatting. These paragraphs are too long, so we need to come in and break these up. Create more white space, insert more images. Okay, so that right there, coming in, we've got quite a few for September. We've got some in October as well that could be improved. Then we've got one back in November. And then we can even look at the December ones. I would say that most of the 2010 articles, we can look to go back and improve those, make them better. Another thing that you can look at is look at the total. So we've got shares, likes, comments, and total. That total gives you an idea of how well the article is doing. Whenever that total is low, such as this one, well, that one's a Harry Crane, so that's kind of an anomaly. But if you see total 2, classroom menswear, the well-dressed teacher, this one right here, we're probably going to want to look at and see how can we improve this? How can we make this article better? This one's in there. Why dressing up matters in the classroom, teachers' clothing, casual authority. This one probably just needs to be broken up a bit more. This paragraph's a little bit too big. We could probably break up this intro a bit and have be a little bit more to the point. But this one's got a nice little wardrobe. We can revisit, look at this wardrobe, see if there are any adjustments we need. There's a little bit of disconnect here. See, there shouldn't be a space here, and then there is, and there should be a space here. So it looks like the formatting just needs to be improved here. Otherwise, this could be a pretty good article. And once we improve these articles, this is the fun part. We're going to then go in. So once we improve these articles, we're going to republish these, but we're going to change the date. So we're going to come in here and we're going to edit it, and we're going to make it a draft. And we will change the publish date for July. We can even leave that July 27th. So basically, we're going to start programming these articles to publish in the future so that we're not having to play, catch up here, but we're actually planning ahead. And I'm always a big fan of these publishing early in the morning, so at 4:15 on the 11th. So this one, I'm going to hit OK, and I'm going to schedule this. So this one we will need to revisit. It's the classroom menswear, the well-dressed teacher, and we'll want to have this one prepared and ready to go. I can do little things like that, just changing that around. Let's not kid around. Even if you're a math teacher, you don't want to look like a math teacher. Not the kind of person people look at and think, he's probably a math teacher anyway. Well, this right here, I would say, we can look to take that out. So let's think that this, whenever we're going through and we're editing, and I'll save this actually for another post. Yeah, that's what I'll do actually. So let's go ahead and we're going to close this off. Again, we clicked on Facebook social stats and we went through and we are reviewing old articles to make sure they reflect the current status of Real Men Real Style.